Yes, this is the same shirt I was wearing the last time we worked on re-ringing the 250 straight 6 out of the 67 Chevy C10 Stepside Barn Find, but I swear I washed it. The pistons and the cam are in, so all we gotta do is button this thing up and try not to screw up the head gasket this time. Oh yeah, and we have a 4-piece oil pan gasket we gotta deal with. That'll be fun in the corners, but hey, maybe we'll get to try to fire this thing up today. I was gonna install the new seal on the timing cover, but I dropped it and spent the last half an hour crawling around under all of this, searching every nook and cranny. And not only did I find it in the last place I looked, but it was right here. Friggin' camouflaged. I did find a long lost 7/16 socket though. It's the loaded and controversial question: to RTV or not to RTV? In this particular situation, I'm choosing to Romeo Tango Victor on both sides of the gasket, which that's another controversial discussion. If these were two perfectly smooth and flat surfaces that we were mating, then you probably wouldn't need a gasket at all. I'm going to put the bolts in upside down or from the bottom like this to hold the gasket in place and let it tack up on the RTV a little bit so it stays where we want it. Now if you're going to use RTV on either side of a gasket, you don't want to use too much or it will most likely leak. Trust me, I know from experience. I wanted to show you this before I put the pan on because these 4-piece oil seals can be a little tricky on a guy / intimidating if they haven't done it before. And I know you think that I might be going overboard with RTV on both sides of all the gaskets, but I'm not trying to hurt anybody. It's the lightest coat you ever seen, man. I had to trim these. I had to trim the rubber on both ends of this because they extended out to here. You got to trim it flush with the cork gasket. And then on the back, I didn't trim, or actually, yes, I did trim the rubber. The rubber came out to about here, and I trimmed it back so it'd be nice and flush. And then down in these corners is a little teeny tiny little bit of RTV on each side. Better make sure that's in there before I put the pan on. And there's an 1/8 inch bead of RTV up here too, where the timing cover meets the block. You want to make sure that gap is filled there. Not too much though. All right, I hope I didn't screw anything up. All the corners look good. I'm sure that rain outside is making the audio real nice to listen to, but can't escape nature. Very light coat of RTV on the pan as well. Just to, as I mentioned before, just to make up for little imperfections in the mating surfaces. It's kind of like when you go to a barbecue joint that you've never been to before and there's way too much sauce. It's like they're hiding something with their meat, man. Thought I was working on a small block. Well, what in the world? I think I lost the motor mount. I'm pretty sure that lifter right there is in the back of the bus. And then they're all in order from front to back. I'm not 104.5% sure. It's been a while since I cleaned them and set them off to the side. But we'll roll with that, and if I'm wrong, I guess we won't have a camshaft anymore. Gee, I wonder how that happened. Good news, the lifters that are in spin nice and free, which is how they're supposed to be. I didn't mean to rhyme that time. And this one here, I wanted to show you. See, it's got a different type of clip in there because its clip was broke. So I bought a brand new lifter from the store of parts, took the clip out of it, put it in the original. Now this one down here, this one does not want to go in. And it's funny how now I remember that when we took the engine apart, this one wouldn't come out because the bottom of the lifter is, let's see if I can get it out. Well, it's not stuck in here, it's just kind of sitting a little bit. The bottom of the lifter is a little bit mushroomed out, so I actually pushed it down and out through the bottom of the block. What I'm thinking here, since this isn't an airplane, and this isn't a cylinder bore like that, we're gonna lightly try a little bit of crystal blue persuasion on it and tap it down through. It's possible that we could wipe out the lifter bore. If that happens, well, let's hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, hopefully it won't be so bad that we end up having oil control issues here. So let's give it a try. You might see me wipe this thing out. I don't know. Let's find out what happens. Make sure it's sitting on here straight. You might see me make the biggest bonehead move ever right here. This could be really stupid. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about backing out. Okay, I thought for a second I went too far. You know, we're just gonna go for it. This is stupid. Do not do what I do. It's not stuck that bad. It's the one that's in the flip-flopping corner. Oh my gosh. Ground control to Major Tom. What was I thinking? Do not ever do this to your lifters. Oh, we're good. We're fine. I'm gonna try cleaning this edge up a little bit. Guarantee you this thing's still gonna run just fine. There we go, we got rid of that edge. I don't believe it, but I found something that this ridiculous, don't know why it's here, curb is good for. Backing your engine stand up against while hammering on pressed on pulleys. We got her on far enough that we're lined up here. If you're not, your belt will fly off just like this pulley actually might, because it's a two-piece pulley. And when I was hammering on it with that big 4x4, I busted up this bonding material a little bit. And if it were to come apart, this piece will stay attached to the end of the crankshaft, and this outside piece will launch itself into the pavement underneath the truck, turning the entire freeway into a pinball machine. It's too late to turn back now. Isn't that a song? It's too late to... Sorry. I am not making the same mistake as the last time. So I made my own thread chaser, and I got the good stuff. There we go. Ow! Ah, I think I broke my finger. We're very close to seeing if this thing's gonna run. Links are in the description for the videos leading up to this point on this project. You really should watch them because it's been a long, long road getting to this point. And subscribe, because this thing's going in, and I bet you anything, it runs like a top.